Hello and welcome to Maths with Mr Amison. In this video we will be discussing bearings and seeing how to apply this to problems. Now if you need to recap bearings then please watch the video here or follow the link in the description below. We're going to start by talking about what bearings are. Bearings are angles measured from north clockwise, and bearings have 3 digits. They always have the hundreds, the tens and the units, and they can also include decimals as well. And it's important to note that north can be represented as 000 or 360 degrees. That's because we either have to turn 0 degrees to get here, or we can do a full turn around the point to get to 360 degrees. It's worth pointing out that you can't go beyond the 360 degrees. North is the only bearing that can be represented as either of these. So, question 1, is 045 a bearing? Well, the answer here is yes, it is. It represents towards the northeast, and it's got the hundreds, tens, and the units, therefore it is. Is 090? Yes, it is. It represents towards the east, and it has the hundreds, tens, and units. Is 45 a bearing? The answer here is no, it does not have the hundreds, therefore it cannot be a bearing. 360? The answer here is yes, because that represents towards the north. 361? Here it is no. 361 is beyond the 360 degrees around a point, therefore it cannot be a bearing. Same goes for 450. Is 30 a bearing? No, it does not have the hundreds. Is 030 a bearing? Yes, it has the hundreds and it's between 0 and 360 degrees. Is minus 145 a bearing? The answer here is no, we cannot have negative bearings. Is 260 a bearing? Yes, it is. It has all 3 digits and it's between 0 and 360. Is 26.5 a bearing? The answer here is no, because although it has 3 digits, they are not including the hundreds. It has to include the hundreds, the tens and the ones. Therefore that's not a bearing. Is 026.5 a bearing? Yes it is. It includes the hundreds, the tens and the ones. Even though it includes a decimal, that's fine. 206.5? Yes, that is a bearing. 0005, is that a bearing? No, it is not, because it includes the thousands as well. Bearings cannot include the thousands. 000.5, is that a bearing? Yes, it is, because it has the hundreds, tens, and the ones, even though they're all 0. 100.005, is that a bearing? Yes, it is, because it includes the hundreds, tens, and the ones with the decimal on the end, and it's between 0 and 360 degrees. Your turn. See if you can decide whether these are bearings or not. Pause now to have a go. Here are the answers. 040 is a bearing because it has the hundreds, tens and the ones, and it's between 0 and 360. 90 is not a bearing, it does not have the hundreds, even though it's between 0 and 360. Same for 90.5. 158.50 is a bearing, even though you've got the extra 0 on the decimal here, it doesn't mean it's not a bearing. It's between 0 and 360, and it has the hundreds, the tens and the ones. 358.5, that is a bearing, it's between 0 and 360, and has the hundreds, tens and the ones, and includes a decimal which doesn't matter. Alright, so have a think about these 5. Is the bearing of B from A equal to 80 in question 1? Well, we measure bearings of B from A by saying, let's start at A because we're going from A. And if we're travelling towards B, if we placed our compass at A, which direction would B be in? So if we have our compass here, then this would be 0, this would go 80 degrees, therefore it would be 080, not 80, because we need to include the hundreds, therefore this is false. Would the bearing of B from A be equal to 120? Well, considering bearings are measured clockwise from north, we would put our compass here. 120 would actually point in this direction here, towards east-southeast kind of direction. Therefore, the bearing of B from A is going in this direction, so it's the angle on the outside here, the reflex angle, the large angle. Alright, so we need to do 360, because there's 360 degrees about a point. Take away 120, because that's how much we're taking off, to find our actual bearing, which in this case would be 240. In this case, the bearing of B from A equals 260. Well, our bearing of B from A here will be our measurement from north all the way around towards B. We put our compass here, because it's B from A. So we have 80 plus this 180, 80 plus 180 is equal to 260, therefore this is true. The bearing of B from A in question 4, well, we have 80 degrees down here this time. Being 260 degrees, well, if we measure from north here, measure clockwise from north, that's 180 plus 80, which again is 260, therefore this is true. Question 5, the bearing of A from B. Put our compass at B, because that's where we're going from. Well, we have to measure clockwise from B to go towards A, therefore it's this angle here. So it can't be 100, because these two angles will add up to 180. Therefore the angle here has to be 80 degrees. That bearing would be 080, not 100. Therefore it is false. Alright, thanks for watching. I hope you found it useful. Speak to you soon.